Most employees have a different mindset than employers.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast, helping appraisers increase their efficiency, quality, and make more money. Here's the guy who makes it his life's mission to create value for real estate appraisers nationwide. Your host and the Appraiser Coach, Dustin Harris.
Welcome back, everybody, to the most listened to appraisal-related podcast in the world. Dustin Harris hanging out with you once again. I want to talk today about bonuses. Should you give them? Well, okay, you should. How should you give them? What do bonuses need to look like in your business? I want to pause here first to remind you about your business and about doing better in your business because you use great technology like Alamode. Alamode, of course, is the leader in appraisal-related software. Check them out. Go to alamode.com or 800-ALAMODE. DataMaster saving you about 45 minutes on every report that you do. You can find out more going to datamasterusa.com. And finally, Working RE Magazine is where I go to find out what's going on in the biz. It's workingre.com, workingre.com. Well, folks, let's talk bonuses for just a little bit. On a regular basis, whether it be in my mastermind, in regular coaching, or on our All-Star Team Facebook page, I get questions about bonuses. Should I be giving bonuses to my employees? Now, first of all, let's clarify a couple of things. Bonuses are in addition. Okay, so this is not your regular salary. When someone says the word bonus, they're not talking about a raise. They're not talking about giving someone more money necessarily. This is not overtime. Okay, this is not commission. This is bonuses. This is over and above, which, by the way, is going to be one of the motivating factors that we're going to talk about here in just a little bit. But we're talking about giving, whether it be in the form of money or paid time off or other perks. Okay, I really use all of those things and put them in the same basket. A bonus is something that you give your employees that is over and above the norm. Now, I'm not necessarily going to say that giving bonuses has to be a surprise, but I would say they work much better if they are. Meaning, when you give a bonus, it needs to be out of the blue. It needs to be something that they were not expecting, but it does need to be tied to something, not just, hey, you're a nice guy, I'm a nice guy, let's get together and I'll give you some bonuses, right? It needs to be something that can be tied to something else. And that's really where I want to go with this episode. On a regular basis, I get individuals asking me about bonuses, how to handle them. Should I give them? In fact, a bigger question that is often on the minds of appraiser business owners is, I want to give my employees ownership. I want to give them skin in the game. Now, I don't want to give them a lot of ownership, right? This is my company, but I want to give them maybe a 1% to 2% share in the company. And if you're set up as a corporation, I guess you can do that. Folks, I would highly, 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 highly recommend that you rethink that. Here's why. In most cases, a bonus does not have the same effect on your employees that you believe it should. And I want to 10 times that for ownership in the company because most of the time, not all of the time, but most of the time, the individuals that you have hired to work for you have a different mindset than you do. Now, first of all, let's pause and back up. Let me first take my hat off, bow slightly, and congratulate you for being a generous individual. And yes, I'm being a bit sarcastic, but not really. I really mean it. You are very kind. You are a good person. You don't want to hog all the wealth. You understand that you did not build this on your own, that you've had help and you want to reach out and you want to reward those individuals who have rallied behind you and have buoyed you up and have helped you to become who you are. Golf clap. Way to go, okay? In all seriousness, way to go. I think it is a wonderful, wonderful thing for a business owner to look at the individuals that they work with and realize these important factors and realize that, guess what? You didn't build it on your own. You did have help. You worked together. That being said, okay, there's always a big but, right? That being said, it is my experience that most employees have a different mindset than employers. Let me repeat that. Employers and employees have different ways of looking at things. It just is. Now, I'm not saying that an employee can never have an employer mindset. Certainly not. But I'm saying in general, when you're dealing with individuals, you have to go to motivation. Now, here's the problem. Many of us business owners make the mistake of saying that such and such motivates me, so thus it must motivate someone else. In other words, we show empathy for those that we work for by really digging and getting in their shoes when we shouldn't be, because their shoes are their shoes and our shoes are our shoes, and they are different shoes. Now, I really cannot emphasize this enough. It has been my sometimes sad experience to notice that I do have skin in the game. This is my company. I own the company, and frankly, I have more love, more blood, more sweat, more tears for this company than anybody out there. That includes my wife. That includes my office manager. That includes anyone. Trust me, folks, on this. What motivates you does not necessarily motivate someone else. Now, here's the thing. Let's back up for just a second. Let's look at the motivating factor for giving someone ownership in the company. Because I believe it's noble. It can be commended. The bottom line is you are looking at these individuals that are working for you, and you have a great love and appreciation for what they're doing, and you want to give back. And you want to give back in the very same way that you feel that motivates you, which is ownership and growth in the company. And maybe an not so altruistic way of thinking about it is, hey, I want to continue to grow my company. What motivates me is money, is volume, is efficiencies, is running a great business, and that's going to motivate my employees as well if I give them ownership. That somehow giving them ownership is going to change the way that they look at the company because, hey, now they have skin in the game. Well, folks, they have 1 or 2% skin in the game. Trust me. Trust me on this one. It does not change their attitude. It does not change their motivation. And that is the key here. If your goal by giving someone ownership is to change their motivation or to push them to be more motivated for growth, because, hey, let's think about it. If I'm only making a salary, but all of a sudden my boss comes to me and says, guess what? You can make a salary plus, as big as the company grows, you'll grow right along with us. Trust me on this, folks. It does not work the way that you think it will work. What motivates your employees in their mindset is not the same as what motivates you and I in our ownership of the business. And I think you're going to be sadly disappointed if by giving them ownership in the company, you feel like it will somehow motivate them to push beyond their level. It will not, most of the time. Now, there are exceptions to the rule. Okay, there are exceptions to the rule, and it comes down basically to personality. And I hate to be blunt, but I'm going to be blunt. There is a reason people are in certain seats on the bus. They feel comfortable in certain roles. You feel comfortable in the ownership role. You do. That's why you're there. Now, many of you say, well, Dustin, I've never felt comfortable being the owner. Okay, but you're there. Something got you there. You may feel out of place and out of sorts, but you are there, and that is motivating you to grow and to become better. And frankly, laying awake at night when you're in your bed and you wonder about payroll and whether you can meet it next weekend is motivating. And what motivates you is not what motivates them. I'll tell you what motivates me, and that's knowing about my industry and knowing about what's going on and looking down the road and feeling like I have some ability to see what's going on. Folks, if you are running a successful business, you need to know what's going on in the industry that you've chosen to run that business in. Working RE Magazine will do that for you, whether it be the digital version online in your email or the print version that comes out every quarter. Working RE is keeping you informed. They're helping you to make better decisions as a business owner. You can find out more by going to workingre.com. That's workingre, standing for realestate.com. Alamode, of course, is the software that I continue to use on a daily basis. Folks, it's software. Does it have hiccups? Absolutely. Okay. Does it have bugs? Yeah, once in a while. But they boast the best customer service out there. I've been using it for over 2 decades with very, very minor hiccups. I love Alamode. It helps me to be more successful. It helps me to be more efficient. It helps me to be the business owner that I want to be. Alamode is where you find out more, alamode.com, and 800. Pick up the phone, 800 Alamode. Finally, DataMaster is helping to save appraisers across the nation time, effort, efficiencies. Check them out, datamasterusa.com. Find out if they're in your area. Folks, this is a company that does it right. They get an agreement, a contract, if you will, with every board of realtors that they service. They're not sneaking around. They're not screen scraping. They're getting the data directly from the source and putting it right into your report. DataMaster USA, to find out more, again, it's www.datamasterusa.com. All right, folks, welcome back to the program. We got off a little bit off in the weeds in the beginning of this. We talked about giving ownership in the company, and I hope I made it very clear. Ownership is very unmotivating most of the time. But today, the episode is about bonuses. Should you give bonuses to your employees? And I am a big believer in bonuses. I'm a big believer in rewarding those individuals for their efforts. But that really goes to my 3-step recipe for if a bonus should be given. Okay, number 1, we've kind of already talked about. But this is so important. If you're going to give a bonus, folks, it needs to be about motivation. Okay? What do I mean by that? I mean, give a bonus that's motivating. You need to find out what is motivating to your employees. And folks, I know what you're saying. You're saying to yourself, Dustin, duh, it's called money. Everybody's motivated by money. And while that may be true on some level, you will find, and it took me a long time to figure this out because, frankly, I'm motivated by money, right? I'm motivated by making more money, which is a tool to allow me to be able to do more and to grow and to bless my life. Okay, it's not about the money, it's about the tool of the money, but it's still a motivation. And I think, well, if money's going to motivate me, it's going to motivate someone else. So, for example, if I want to motivate somebody, in the past, I might give them a raise and think, well, she's only making $13 an hour. If I give her $14 an hour, by golly, she's going to work that much harder. No, trust me on this. It doesn't work that way. Well, hey, if I give a big Christmas bonus at the end of the year, right, this is going to be motivating because, I don't know, maybe they'll work harder because they want that bonus again. And while that may be true in some circumstances, I would say even the majority of circumstances, that is absolutely a false dichotomy. All right? So step number 1, make sure it is motivated. Well, what do you mean, Dustin, if it's not motivated? How else could a bonus come? Well, folks, there's a lot of different things you can do with bonuses. Okay? For example, and by the way, I look at all perks as bonuses. For example, healthcare, right? A lot of people are motivated by the opportunity to have healthcare in their business. We recently added that in my own business, and I'm telling you, it was very motivating for individuals. Paid time off or unpaid time off. The ability to be able to take time away from the business may be very, very motivating for somebody. Childcare. The ability to be able to leave in the middle of the afternoon and go home and take care of a sick child. In other words, being flexible with schedules and family and events and different things. Working from home, that can be a huge benefit. Interview your employees and find out what motivates them. That's your best insight into what they do, what they want, what they need. And then utilize that for your bonuses. Number 2, bonuses need to be directly related to production. Let me repeat that. All bonuses need to be directly related to production. I sometimes see business owners making the mistake of giving bonuses for bonus' sake, right? Everybody gets a car. You get a car. You get a car. You get a car. Everybody gets a bonus. You get a bonus. You get a bonus. You get a bonus. When sometimes they're not deserved, folks. I think that bonuses need to be individual. I think they need to be private. I think they need to be between you and the employee, but they need to be directly related. Sometimes I see business owners giving out bonuses, and this goes to number 3, and they last forever. You're a great employee. I'm going to give you a bonus, and I'm going to give you now $100 a month the rest of the time you work for me because you're such a great person. Well, great, folks. Guess what? That will motivate for about 3 months. And then all of a sudden, it's the norm again. So number 3, bonuses need to be temporary, meaning they need to be one-off, or they need to be, hey, this month we have a bonus for anybody who can bring new business into the door. For anyone who can do that, you get X amount. Right? But that has to be for this month or this quarter or even this year, but cannot be forever. I made the mistake years ago of giving a 10%, I think it was a 10% bonus for new business that came through the door. And I said, if you bring new business to me, you will get 10% of the cut on every order forever. Right? Sounds pretty generous, right? So it was motivating in that a couple of people, not all, this was when I had about 12 employees, a couple of people, by the way, this was pre-2008, just to kind of give you context. I had a couple of employees that were very, very much go-getters, and they reached out and they brought a couple of new AMCs on. Well, folks, I'm telling you, 3 years later, when some of those employees still worked for me, and I was still giving out 10% on every order that AMC ordered, I was kicking myself. Bonuses need to be temporary. They lose their motivation down the road. Do you think that down the road they cared about what they did 3 years ago? No way. No way. So number 1, bonuses need to be motivating. Number 2, they need to be directly related to production. Number 3, they need to be temporary. Folks, hats off to you for being willing and understanding about the law of give back, about the law of reciprocation. Thank you for seeing your employees as human beings. Thank you for loving them and helping them and growing your company together. But be careful with bonuses. they can be given out too freely, and thus they lose their motivation. Speaking about losing your motivation, how motivated are you to accomplish your goals? How motivated are you every day, every week, every quarter to accomplish what you need to accomplish? Well, I want to introduce to you a new product here at the Appraiser Coach, and it's called Ongoing Accountability. Folks, this is the opportunity for you to have me call you once a month, once a week. It's up to you. Okay, you can set this up how you want. I can tell you that most people participating in this are once a month. And once a month at a set time, I call and we have a 20, 30-minute conversation. And we set goals together. We follow up on your previous goals and we talk to you about what is causing you to be stalled and to be not moving forward. Folks, if you need a little fire under your rear end, okay, I'll be that fire. I will. And it's an honor to do so. By the way, there is a little bit of a caveat here, okay? Because this is a follow-up session. You need to either be a member of the Dream Team or at least have recent coaching from me. But I would love to follow up with you and hold you accountable, help you to be motivated because you know you're going to have to talk to me at the end of the month. All right, folks, thanks for joining me today. We'll catch you next time.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.
My experience has been that most individuals, and my alarm's going to go off. Time to wake up. All right. All right. I have no idea where I was. I would highly recommend. Let me think. Where was I? In most cases, a bonus does not have the same effect on your employees that you believe it should.